Welcome, welcome to my weekly Inner Goddess Team video series, brought to you this week from COVID Central. Both my husband and I have COVID. Yeah, my first time, his second time. So I am particularly tuned in to Durga, who I'll give you the whole, some of the spiel on her in just a minute, who we are celebrating this week because we are in the midst of probably her biggest, one of her most major festivals, celebrations in India this week. So, yes, I invite you, and you'll hear in a minute why that's particularly helpful for those of us that are that need protection, that need to get rid of negative energy. And then the chant that I'll sing with you at the end, hey Lorena, is also one for that calls on Durga to do exactly that, to eliminate negative energy. So I'm Deborah Roth, Spirited Living, and each week I really bring in some goddess from anywhere in the world that either is connected to, there's a festival of hers that's either still happening, as in this case, Durga Puja, is something that's massively celebrated in India right now, or just one that seems to match the energy of wherever we are. So right now, as we speak, we're in the midst of, and what I love about this, we're in the midst of celebrating, sorry, a little bit of food stuck in my teeth, full disclosure. We're in the midst of celebrating one of several of her festivals. One, Navratri, and my apologies if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, Navratri, which is actually celebrated twice a year in the western and southern parts of India. This, and actually is happening at the same time, and it overlaps Durga Puja, which starts, and so I'm not going to talk about Navratri. I actually did an Inner Goddess Team video about Navratri because it happens twice a year back in April, so you can check that out if you want. This one is the biggest festival in Bengal and the other eastern Indian states. And there's a kind of an offset, a launching of it on September 25th, this past Saturday. And then it's coming up October 1st through the 5th is when the major celebrations go on. And remember, as with any time that I do this, if you're watching this at some other time of the year other than right now, you can call on Durga, you can call on her energy whenever you need it. And that's really true of all these divinely feminine qualities that I try to bring in here. If you want to know more, just a little side comment, if you want to know more about the divine feminine and what I mean by that, what those qualities actually are, you can, on my YouTube video, you can click on the eye in the corner. And then there's also something that comes up at the end that gives you a whole little video about the divine feminine and why I do these and what they embody, what the divine feminine embodies. One of the things that I so appreciate about Durga is that she is a warrior, like Kali, like Athena. And that's whenever you need that kind of fighting spirit. She is the goddess of fighting spirit. And the Durga Puja commemorates her defeating, and again, apologies if the pronunciation isn't perfect, Mahishasura, who is the king of the Asuras. And he was basically a devil. He was given a boon by Lord Bramha that he could never be killed. Well, that went to his head. He ended up just years of beating down the human race. He kicked the gods, the Hindu gods, out of heaven, and he filled him, the power that he had filled him with such an urge to rule over the world that he terrorized everyone. And finally, all of the gods and their worshippers reached out to Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord Vishnu, the big guys, and they combined their energy to create this feminine form that was so brilliantly glaring that it illuminated the heavens, and that form was Durga. So this festival commemorates her defeat of the Mahishasura, and also commemorates her return to Earth, which they do every year. She returns to Earth with her 4 children, which are Sarasvati, Lakshmi, and 2 gods. Hold on a sec, see if I can find it. I don't want to give you too much of those details, but anyway, she returns to Earth with to home. That's her home, and the celebration goes over several days. And what on the first day, it's a 10-day festival, and the last 5 days are considered to be the most important. Sarasvati, Lakshmi, Ganesha, and Karthik are the other gods and goddesses that are worshipped. And the Mahalaya is the beginning of her, that's the one that started on September 25th, the beginning of her journey home. And then throughout the next several days, starting on October 1st, there's a little bit of a breather, and then starting on October 1st, there are all kinds of celebrations in the street where drums are played. The dakis are the drum players. The drums are called daks. There's amazing pandals, which are, they almost sound like sukkahs or huppahs. There are these beautiful canopies that are created with representations of beautiful buildings from all around India. New designs. Each storekeeper, each builder of these pandals tries to outdo the other. So when you're wandering the streets during, which everyone is, because there's wonderful food that's put out and these pandals are created, you see these gorgeous ways that she can be celebrated. Let's see. I'll show you. I do actually have a Durga statue, and it's funny. Most of the things that I've read about her say that she has 10 arms, and most of the representations I found of her, including my statue, she has 8 arms, but each one holds. There's a trident here. There's a conch shell. There's snakes. There's a club. There's a couple other things, and she's riding a tiger from the Himalayas. And each of her arms holds a weapon, which she will then defeat. I'll never get his name right. Mahishasura, who turns into a buffalo to escape her, and she still defeats him. And at some point in the history of this celebration, a buffalo was actually sacrificed. There's another day I'm not going to go through each of the days. I just wanted to give you a little bit of the mythology and give you a little bit of the sense of honor and celebration that goes on. This is a big deal in India right now. And to invite you, like so many of these other, like all the other goddesses that I try and highlight here, to call on her. Remember to call on her. In my case, I'm calling on her to help me get rid of my COVID. I'm not going to call it my COVID, the COVID evil that I have in me right now that I just want to get rid of and feel back to full form. So that's a reminder. And and I want to give you just a couple, because I love the ritual stuff. You know how much I love ritual stuff. They do rituals on each of the days, especially the big 5 days, October 1st through the 5th. One of them, on the second day, just before the sun rises, a banana tree is submerged in holy water and then covered with a new sari, just like a newlywed woman. And then it's kept, the banana tree is kept with the idol, with the statue of the goddess Durga. And 9 plants that represent her 9 faces, her 9 forms of Durga are also kept nearby. What was one of the other? Yeah, I think those are, yeah, those are probably, I've hit some of the biggest pieces of some of the rituals and pageantry that happens with this celebration. So I invite you to, if you're not watching this on YouTube, to definitely, go to YouTube. I'm going to include a lot more information about, I'll put some of this in the description there, as I usually do. And subscribe there. Please comment. Please like. Please like this so that I'll know. And please let me know if there's other goddesses that I haven't covered. Covered quite a few in the last 2.25 years, I think, since I've been doing this. But I always love to hear more ideas, especially the lesser known ones. So with that little commercial out of the way, I want to sing for you a very powerful chant, and I sang along with it as much as I can with my croaky voice. I sang along with it for several minutes this afternoon. That's considered to be one of the most powerful chants for Durga. And the words are Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. And she is said to have the combined powers of Lakshmi, Sarasvati, and Kali. And this mantra asks for protection against internal and external negative forces. So if you're ill, like I am, if you're, if there's just something going on in your life, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that you want some guidance, that you want some protection, that you want to, fight back against, she's your girl. Now, the simple translation, basically, is Om in salutations to that feminine energy which protects from all manner of negative influences. So, with that in mind, I invite you to join me as I sing this very simple chant. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. 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 So take her fighting spirit within you and walk with her this week in particular. Whenever you're watching this, when you need to tap into her comfort, her protection on the soft side of her mothering. She is considered the cosmic mother. She is considered the great mother in the Hindu tradition. And call on her when you need that, but also when you need defense. She defends her human children against enemies, all kinds of enemies. And of course, that fighting spirit as embodied by all of her weapons that she has with her as she rides her majestic lion into your life. Thanks so much for joining me. Namaste, and do a little bit of research on your own on Durga Puja. I think you will also be supported and loved. You'll love knowing about her. Fuzzy COVID brain, apologies. Love to you all. See you next week.